ability of a business to pay its short-term debts when they are due. Okay, that's what the liquidity is. The ability of a business to pay short-term debts when they are due. Okay, so it's all about converting your current assets into physical cash so that you pay for these debts. Okay, like your inventory, your trade receivables, even financial security. Okay. How do you usually convert them into cash so that you can pay for these short-term liabilities? Okay. So we're going to look at the first liquidity ratio, which is the current ratio. Alright. The current ratio basically is asking us, can we pay off our current liabilities with our current assets? Okay. Can we pay off our current liabilities with our current assets? Okay. So this is the formula for the current ratio. Current assets over current liabilities. Okay. So I've got an extract here. These are from Dangote Cement's financial statement. Okay. These are in Nairas. Okay. So our current ratio is our current assets divided by our current liabilities. Okay. Any current ratio above 1 is a good sign. It means you can take care of your current liabilities with your current assets. Okay. But if your ratio is below 1, then that's a bad sign. So this is for Dangote Cement. Okay. Current ratio, we're going to divide the current assets by the current liabilities. Okay. And so for 2023, we're going to see what is our current ratio. We say current assets over current liabilities. Okay. So the current assets for 2023, 1,400,014. Divided by the current liabilities, 1,612,632. So we divide, let's see. So 1,400,014 divided by 1,612,682. Okay, we get 0.86. Okay, so this current ratio is below 1. So this is a bad sign. Okay, it's telling us we can't cover all our current assets, our current liabilities with our current assets. Okay, as we can even see here, the current liabilities, the figure is higher than the current assets. Okay, so if you try to take care of your current liabilities using your assets, there will still be some remainder. Okay, so this is a bad sign for 2023. Okay, it's showing that they are not liquid enough. Okay, let's see for 2024. Current assets 1,891,021. Divided by current liabilities 2,569,584. Divided by current liabilities 2 million. So we can see our current liabilities are still greater also in 2024.
Yeah, so it's also bad.
It's also bad, yes. Divided by 2,269,584. 0.73. It's actually even reduced. Okay. So this is bad. Okay. This is not good. Meaning even though you with all the cash that you have, all the inventory that you have, all the trade receivables that you have, you're not going to be able to take care of your current liabilities. That is the current ratio. The next we're going to look at the quick ratio. It's just similar to the current ratio, but this time we're excluding inventory. Okay. Say asking, can our current liabilities accept inventory, but can our other current assets, in our quick assets, the ones that can be easily converted into cash, can they be used to pay the liabilities? So the quick ratio. So the quick ratio is similar to the only difference is current ratio. The only difference is your current assets are going to current assets minus inventory. Okay, over current liabilities. So if our current ratio was bad, our quick ratio is expected to also be bad. Okay. So for 2023, this is the value of the current assets. Then the value of inventory on 2023. Then the value of inventory on 2023, 394,000. Okay, 23. So let's first subtract inventory. Okay, so let's first subtract inventory from our current assets. So 1,400,000 minus 394 minus 394 23. You get 1,000,000. You get 1,000,000. Okay, when I've subtracted the current assets from the inventory, we get 1,005,991 divided by 1,612,632. 632. Okay. 1,612,632. 1,612,632. You get a quick ratio of 0.6. You get a quick ratio of 0.62. 0.62. Even with the quick ratio, okay, both current and quick ratio, you always want them to be above 1. Okay, that is a very good sign if you're above 1. Okay, now here as you can see, our quick ratio is 0.62, far less than 1. So even though we exclude inventory from our current assets, we cannot pay off our current liabilities. Okay. For 2024, our quick ratio, we also get our quick ratio. Value for the current assets. Okay. So our value for the current assets minus inventory. 2024 inventory, and our inventory even grew in 2024. 666. 1,891,021 so you're going to say 1,891,021 minus. Okay, when you subtract these two, you get 1,000,000. When you subtract these two, you get 1,224,369 divided by total current liabilities, 2,569,584. So when we divide, okay. So when we divide 0.47. So even in 2024. So even in 2024. So even our quick ratio dropped. Our current ratio dropped, and our quick ratio dropped. So this is not a good sign for Dangote. So this is not a good sign for Dangote. Okay, because with these liquidity ratios, you want to be able to cover your current assets with. So colleagues, I'll ask, what ways do you think Dangote can improve these ratios? Just look at the components of the ratios, and that's what you need to focus on. What can Dangote do to improve this ratio? Before I give it my recommendation, once you're analyzing capabilities. Yes, Mr. Miller. Yes, Mr. Miller.
Let me first think.
Madam Tabitha. They need to reduce the current liabilities. Okay. Once they reduce this current liability, meaning they should engage in short-term finance, short-term debt, basically. Okay. Remember, current liabilities includes trade payables. It also includes short-term financing. It also includes short-term financing, short-term debt. If Dangote Cement reduces its current liabilities by, let's say, for example, if it's the trade payables that increased, maybe they can stop credit purchases. Okay, because the more credit purchases they incur, the more the trade payable value that is going to increase, which is going to increase the current liability. Okay, so they can stop. They can slow down. Okay, so they can stop. They can slow down on credit purchases, or they can stop taking on short-term loans. Okay, short-term loans. Because those short-term loans are also part of the current liabilities. Let me just check also the current liabilities. Because I also sent the financial statement. So let's just look in depth to see which trade payables or which current liabilities grow. Here's their balance sheet. So we look here. these are our current liabilities. Yes, so these are our current liabilities here. Let me just get them. Want to now make a critical analysis. Want to now make a critical analysis of this. These are the current liabilities. Okay. These are the current liabilities. Okay. So here, as we can see. Okay. So here, as we can see, trade payables increased from 619,901 to 992,719. This is one current liability. So this is one current liability that increased. These liabilities also increased. These liabilities also increased. Okay. When you're leasing property or equipment, so the lease liabilities increased also. So the lease liabilities increased also. From 4,000 to 5,000. Also increased. Tax liabilities also increased. Okay. Even financial liabilities. Even financial liabilities increased. Yes, the only thing that decreases is these other current. Okay. The only thing that decreases is these other current liabilities. So Dangote has to work on these components. So Dangote has to work on these components to improve its liquidity ratios. They have to drop the payables. These liabilities, okay. These lease liabilities, they need to also drop. Even the tax liabilities, they need to. Even the tax liabilities, they need to cover those also. And the financial liabilities, they need to reduce on them. If they work on that, their total current liabilities will drop. And if it drops, it makes the current ratio, quick ratio increase. Any questions, sir?